With Arc Raiders, of course, there is absolutely no need to overthink this game and to min-max the hell out of it from day one. Part of the joy of Arc is going to be in exploring and learning it as you go, and the ease of access of Arc is a huge part of what I think is going to make it so popular with your everyday hard-working regular gamer. But if you do fancy learning some more about the game, having a bit of fun, and doing a little bit of planning to help you avoid making some silly mistakes, then check out these 5 brilliant resources that let you dig deeper into Arc. So first up, we're going to have a look at arctracker.io. This is a really useful site that has a bunch of different stuff on it, but primarily I want to focus on the skill tree and also on its item tracking. If you go to the skill tree tab on this site, it gives you this really nice visualization of the skill trees as we know them at the moment. And on top of just showing you them, so you can hover over and see the different abilities like Heroic Leap here on the mobility tree or Security Breach right at the top of the survival tree, we can also click on these and spend skill points and see how many we might need to spend to get to a certain point on the tree. So for instance, if we wanted to unlock, say, Broad Shoulders, this increases the maximum amount of items we can carry. That's on the survival tree, and I can't click that at the moment because it's locked behind these two that we need to hit here. We need to hit 15 points in survival in order to get that. You get 1 point per level, but we can actually start at the bottom here and click these, and that's going to spend a skill point. It will tell me at the top how many we've spent as well. So we need to spend 15 to unlock these, and if we wanted, we could put all of those into the survival tree. Once we hit this point, we won't be able to unlock these two until we hit 15. We've got in-round crafting here. We've got revitalizing squat. This is stamina regen when crouch is increased. We've got make less noise when looting. We've got looter instincts, which reveals loot faster when searching container. And then the base one was movement speed whilst crouching is increased. So if we wanted to put 5 points into this, unlock crafting, and then say all 5 points into Agile Crafter, that's going to unlock the next tier. We can then hit Suffer in Silence and then Broad Shoulders, and we can see we've spent 17 points in order to get there. This is really handy because once you've spent skill points, you can't undo that until you're able to wipe and restart. So this is a nice way of planning out how you might get somewhere. If you see there's a skill, particularly in this top half of the tree where you have to hit these requirements to unlock it, you want to get extra carrying space. You can see, okay, what kind of level can I do that? Realistically, you're probably not going to spam all of your points into the survival tree. It's more likely that you might also want to take some stuff from conditioning and mobility. You might want to get some help with your stamina. You might want to get some help with the noise you make when looting and stuff like that. So it's a nice way of just seeing at what level you might expect to unlock some of these skills, and you can kind of plan your builds out and have a little play around and test where you're going to go. From the server slam recently, that was capped at level 15 and I hit that. I think I probably played about 8 to 10 hours, I would guess, something like that to hit level 15. So not a huge amount of time to get up to that kind of area. So it's not going to take you too long to be able to hit this first kind of locked tree of skills if you hyper focus on one, or a little bit longer if you're going to mix it up between the different trees. The other really nice feature on arctracker.io that I like is the needed items and item tracking you can do. So if you go to needed items, it shows all of this stuff here. And this is based on things I need for quests and things I need for upgrading my hideout, basically. So if we go to quests, you can see it says I've got active quests here, topside, bandage run, says what items they need, says what items they give as rewards. And I can actually go to needed items, and we can see that here, the bandage run, I need this fabric, that's this quest here, get 15 pieces of fabric, and I can update this and click how many I've got to show how many I've got of these in my inventory, so we know where we're at if you want to do that. And you can also, on the quest tab, you can click to complete, and then that's going to remove that from this list of needed items here. That's going to make that disappear. So that's kind of cool. Also, you can do the same thing with hideout upgrades. So we can see here we've got our workbenches, we've got Scrappy, we can put them at level 1, we can put the workbench at level 2. That's going to show us the items we need to upgrade those things to the next tier. We can go up levels, down levels, and those items are also going to be added to this needed item list. And when we've completed it and gone past, then it's going to remove the ones that we don't need anymore. And there's loads of stuff on this. It's pretty comprehensive. This site also has some basic static maps on it, but we've got a better map site we're going to have a look at in just a minute. So next up, we're looking at the Metaforge Arc Raiders site. This is a really good one for database of items and item information. For example, the top here, you can see it's just showing some popular items. We can click through onto one of these and get more information. We can click a gun. That's going to tell us the component parts that are used to craft that gun. It's going to tell us what you can make that gun into. We can upgrade it to an Osprey 2. We can then click through the different tiers and see what items are needed to upgrade it to that part as well. And there's all sorts of useful stuff to do with the items here. We can go to loot value tiers, and it's got a tier list of loads of different rare loot. So we can click at stuff on this and find out more information about it, see what it's compatible with, read the descriptions and rarity of items, the in-game value. It also has some item tracking features in it as well. And on top of that, it has a great database of information. We can go to the arcs here and we can see all of the different items that are dropped by different arcs that you kill. We've got the Queen, we've got Bombardier, Fireball, Hornet, Snitch, all in there, and we can click through and see the stuff they drop and read their descriptions as well. And then another really handy thing I like on here is the trader list. We can go to traders and see what the different items the different traders sell are. So it's a little bit easier than going through in game. We can just have a quick browse and see that Lance sells the different augments, bandages, defib. We can see what Tian sells with ammo and all these kinds of things. It's just a nice way of having a quick browse and seeing that. There's also some stuff on quests. And similar to Arc Tracker, it also has another version of the skill tree where you can click and spend skill points on here. It looks a little bit more like the one in game. So you can also use this if you prefer, and then you can just click reset to wipe those skill points once you've spent them. Next up, we're going to look at Arc Raiders maps. There's a few different websites out there for interactive maps. I like the ones on Arc Raiders maps. You can see Dan Battlegrounds here. As an example, we've got everything hidden at the moment, but on the right here we could do show all, and you can see all these different things shown on the map. We can zoom in on stuff, we can highlight it, see what it is. This is an Arc Courier. Tells you what all of these different things are. We go back and do hide all. We can show stuff, for instance, like raider caches. Really useful to know the information of those. These locations may change. Hopefully they'll become more dynamic. I like the idea of things moving around rather than just being fixed places you always go because you know the location. But for now, these resources are really handy. You can see we've got the locked rooms, so you know where the different keycard rooms are. We can see where different bot types spawn on the maps. We can see where different important loot locations are, and just all sorts of great information. If you want to use an interactive map, this is a really good site for it. It's got 3 of the different maps available on it at the moment, and more I'm sure are going to be added and updated as time goes on. Another really interesting Arc resource is Arc Raiders Loadout. So this is a site where you can build prospective loadouts you want to use. You can do that for weapon loadouts and gear, and also for skill trees kind of presets as well people can make. You can log in and create an account to create a loadout, or you can look at loadouts that other people have made here. So for instance, we can look at this support gunner loadout that someone's made, and it's going to show the augment they've selected, the amount of ammo, the meds they're taking in, the guns, and you can rate these and look at all sorts of different ones. You can filter that by PvE, by solo, by PvP, or whatever you want to do, and just find different ideas, a bit of inspiration as to what you might like to run. The other quite cool thing on here is that you can do the same thing for skill trees. So these are basically skill tree loadouts where someone has kind of built a level 50 or a level 60 skill build and then shared it on here, so you can have a look at it and see what they've done exactly. So this is a level 49 skill build someone's done, and you can see all the points they've spent on that. I'm not sure I'd really want to just copy someone else's skill build, but it might be something interesting for you to have a look through and read of when you're sitting there itching, waiting to play the game. Lastly, the final resource I wanted to show you today is just the Arc Normal Wiki. This is great if you prefer more of a list-based traditional wiki kind of view of stuff. It's got loads of information on there. You can see we've got info on Arc bots and all their drops. You can click through and find more information about those. It's also got generic descriptions of equipment. We can click through and look at the different augments available. It tells us the backpack slots you get there, the safe box slots, quick use slots, weight limit, all kinds of useful information you might want to read up on. And again, you can click through. It's got all this information on throwables, on weapons, and pretty much everything else you could think of. And this is all a work in progress, stuff being added, but you can see there's quite a bit of information on there already, even the crafting materials and stuff, and sell price, damage, duration, and radius of some of these weapons is already on there. So that's everything for today. Hopefully you found that useful. If you did, then why not drop a like and a sub, as I'm going to be putting out tons of Arc tips, tricks, and guide videos over the coming weeks.